So once we have this information in format for GePhi, what we can do is to open this. This will be Conway sub 1. We are going to consider as a non-directed graph with 58 nodes, 85 edges, and this is the representation that we have of the network. We can center it, right? We are going to incorporate the labels in the nodes, right? And what we have is now a representation where we have here Conway in the middle with JH, right? And what we can see here is that in the other node that we have is J Conway, so it's here, but we have to join them. So what we are going to do is we are looking at the labels, right? And we are going to join. So we select, in fact we have three. So we are going to select all of them and we are going to combine the nodes, right? We are going to eliminate the nodes, mixing them. We have to choose which is the main name that we are going to use. This will be JH, that is the one that is cited by my papers. We consider this is the main one, right? We consider is that we didn't need to choose anything in the interval because this is a non-dynamic network. We are going to join the values with a separator if we have co-authors of these names, right? Just to list them, and also journals or other information, right? We are going in all the cases to try to join the values with the separator, and the currencies that we have, we are going to add them in order to have the sum of all the times that they have appeared in the different papers, right? The source title, we are going to join them with separators. We do something similar with the abbreviated source title, right? And let's go to see the last options, the documents. We are going to maintain or we can use the one with the separator values. We can maintain the one of the main row, right? And we are going to combine also some of the papers that I have cited in them. We include all the possible affiliations and we have this as a result. So here we have now that this is John Horton Conway, the JH, and we will have the addition of all the citations that we have of all the papers. We also have preserved the language of the original documents of English. We have list here, it appears the type of author, so we can edit this and leave just also single type of authors, right? We also can see that the currencies are 96 papers that we have considered, and the list of the sources will be in one after the other, right? So this is how we have processed this, but we can see if we have ordered that there are some other authors that require to edit them and to mix them because they are making reference to the same author. So we repeat the process with the different options that we have seen here with the Sloan until we arrive to the simplification, right? So this is a little tedious, but it has to be done because if not, we may be considering as different authors that in fact they are the same one, right? So we repeat the process, we add the citations of all of them, we join and we combine here again as the new author with where we have all the currencies have been added to this, right? So we can check if there's more, and if it's not the case, we can return to the general view. So here now in the general view, this has changed because here a Conway that was appearing also below, it now doesn't appear, and we have just a single node. So once we have done this, we have updated the content. So now we start to compute some measures for us the degrees, the diameter of the network that is to us any co-author network, right? With radius 1 because all of the nodes have to be connected with the one of Conway, right? The modularity we can compute. There are 9 classes here, well 10 if we consider 11 because we have the one in 0 and later the finish, the last one in 10. So now we can improve our representation with the networks with some of these options. So we are going to make a partition by color by modularity class, right? And this is with the colors here. We can also do a ranking by the degree, right? And we once we apply this, we have such a representation, but still with the nodes very far away one of the other, right? So this is subject that we also study later, the the, the layout of the distribution, right? So we are going to use force atlas with the scaling, well, with this, with 10, they are really close. So we are going to increase it until 100, maybe a little more, 1000. Now it's more clear, right? And we can see what are the names. So we can give a little more of gravity to make some of them closer, right? Here we have, for instance, 3, maybe a little more, 10, not really difference, right? So we stop. And now if we want, we can try to move a little the nodes in order to have a better representation of all the results that we have here of this network, right? Of course, if we are marking Conway, they will appear, all of them. We can also do a ranking and using other measures such as the number of citations, and here if we apply, so we see that there is a very small difference here, but the thing is that some of them have changed it a little, right? We can see that the slope here, it has been increasing because it has been cited with in a paper with Conway with many citations, also because Sloan was a frequent co-author of it, and even the number of citations was even more relevant than even the number of collaborations of the degree with other authors, right? There are also here authors which are relevant here in terms of the number of citations. Okay, so with this we can have an overview of the different options and groups. We can see also with the colors that are representing different collaborations of Conway with these authors, right? And also we can see what is the aspect if we compute the page rank with the default values. We can change, of course, but with this representation could be also fine. And what we are going to see is what is if we represent the size. So here what we see is that the Sloan has decreased, but Conway still is the most relevant one, and it's marked as in the top of this. So Sloan now is as relevant as the others that are even in the same modularity class that we had before. And with this we see that we can do more calculation, but this will be enough by now in calculating